Oh, I probably should have restarted my computer before we started. I probably should have did that. All right, but it's cool. It's cool. What's good, Naruto? Naruto first in on the day. I got a question for you guys actually. Do you guys get notified when I go live here on YouTube, or do you just have like an alert set on your phone to hop on? Like, how do you guys know to be here, or how do you get reminded to be here? What's good, Nicholas? YouTube gives me notifications and it's like 3 days old. I'm like, why are you showing me something that's 3 days old? What's going on? What's going on with that? All right, we have no more news today. Cool. Very nice, very nice. But I will leave the news up here for a minute. We had a lot of news this week, dude. We had news like 3 days in a row for the dollar. Jesus. Alarm and notification, nice. Eberneth, I added it to my calendar. Very nice. Very, very nice. So, bloodbath today. That's what I wanted. Not for silver per se, but what goes up must come down, right? And that's fine. But the Dow Jones, good gracious. If we could get 33,746, that'll be a good day. That'll be a real good Friday. I would like that. I would definitely like that. As far as the other indices go, they don't really have the same target, but I'm not sure. NASDAQ, definitely not sure either. But we'll get into why we were shorting Dow. And it looked, structure-wise, it looks the weakest. It's now closer to the lows than it is to the imbalance from up here. It could retrace, of course, but it just looks very weak. I don't think this looks like a buy. This looks like shit. And that's good. That's what we want. That is what we want. What's good, Allie? What's good? And like I said, I should have restarted my computer before we started. But let's hope we don't have any problems today. We shall see. And I guess there's no reward without risk, right? So we risk having a computer do crazy things. Crazy things. So, don't have much for today as far as price action for what I want, other than I want to see lower indices. I think that would be great. The British pound, yesterday I shared with my private students the 2477 level. And that was met and surpassed actually too. Very, very clean. I was looking for shorts yesterday. The break of structure here I misinterpreted, so I did take a partial loss on that, and I wasn't up for the news this morning, and by the time I was up, the equal lows had already been taken, so I did not get in on any sort of retracement. So that kind of sucks, but you know, that's part of trading. So there's that. Took a small loss on small loss there on British pound, even though we smacked. I mean, look at that. That's beautiful. That's over 100 pips from up here. That's incredible. But you know, sometimes you just miss. Sometimes you just miss. And I missed. So there's that. Euro, similar story, not the same, but similar. At 7:30 news this morning, we did rally and then we ripped and we have continued lower. So that's cool. It's always nice to see, but when you're not part of it, then it is what it is. But we still study these things, you know. And I do got to journal that too. I got a journal that I fucking misinterpreted the break of structure here. And again, I didn't take a full loss, but I took a partial loss on that. And London had to move, or New York Open had to move, but I wasn't up for it. So you just got to journal it, live with it, and move on. And hopefully the Dow continues lower. So we'll see. Outside of that, nothing else. Let's take a brief look at the metals. Gold and silver. Okay, we've been absolutely killing it on the upside. And today's like the first down day in like the last 6 weeks. 5 weeks maybe. Which isn't bad. And what I'm looking for, like what I'm trying to look at here, is tops, right? How can we find bottoms and how can we find tops in a marketplace? Well, if you look at gold here, do you notice the difference in the highs? Do you notice a difference here in the highs? We have a high at 8:45 yesterday, and we do have a higher high here at 11:15 last night. That's awkward, but higher high. And then we also do have equal highs here too, which is a little ridiculous, but it's fine. And you see that those same highs on gold is lower. See that? So notice how when gold doesn't trade higher like silver does, we break structure, it rallies a little bit, and there's like a small imbalance in here on a 15-minute. And this is just hindsight. I'm not acting like I traded this at all because I didn't. But that was during London in here. There's a small imbalance like right there. And then another one here at 6 o'clock. And you can see what the news had done. It rallied a little bit, but then it just sank. Small or rather large imbalance in here, and then it just absolutely collapses to the downside, which is not unheard of for a Friday. Okay, so if there's going to be any lesson for today, what's good, Nikki? If there's going to be any lesson for today, even though it's Philosophical Friday, it's that when you have a market that moves up all week, right? Look at this right here. Okay, well, Monday was a down day, that's fine, but Tuesday was up, Wednesday was up, Thursday was up, and then Friday reversal. Okay, and I've said this in many recordings over the last few years that when you have a Tuesday, Wednesday, Thursday that's up, or even Monday, Tuesday, Wednesday, Thursday that's up, Friday tends to be a reversal day, and the inverse can be said as well, where like if you have Tuesday, Wednesday, Thursday is a down day. Friday could be a reversal day, reversal for the upside. So you do see that example again here today. And yeah, there's a video I've done. It's called When to Expect. Maybe it's not called that. It's like what to expect after consecutive bullish or bearish days, some shit like that. And that's exactly what I explained. And now this was like almost 2 years ago. Okay, some of you haven't been here that long, and that's fine. But again, that same phenomenon has happened here. 3 up days, divergence, boom, big ass reversal. Okay, silver. The only issue with silver is that, and you're gonna see this in a video here pretty soon, next week. I already made it, edited it, and everything, but that comes out, I think, on Wednesday of next week. It's my top 10 smart money trading rules. And those equal highs on silver would have prevented me from shorting. Personally, that's my personal opinion. Okay. But you do have an imbalance in here as well. On a 15-minute time frame, it digs into that. Boom. And then absolute monstrous sell-off. Beautiful. I don't think you guys can hear the music, right? I've got the computer muted, just so you know. The music muted. Because I keep playing copyright-free music, but I keep getting copyright strikes. So I'm getting really irritated with that. So no more music. Plus, that gives you guys a chance to listen to your own music anyway. But yeah, so just study that. Higher silver, lower gold. Gold showing weakness, and then boom, boom, see ya. Complete dirt. If we go to the Dow, finally getting an up candle, and that's fine. Here at the start of the afternoon session. The reason that I was looking for shorts, I think you can see it, but let's take a look. Yesterday afternoon, Thursday's afternoon high, or which is pretty much yesterday's high to begin with, is 34,217. So if we're above that, because I don't want to buy above old highs. Okay, we'll just highlight that. And then well, you can obviously see what is taking place. We rallied at 6, retraced, and then our 7:30 yet again news for the dollar. It had like news every day this week. What's good, John? It had every news like every day this week for the dollar, which is very, very interesting. But it rallies all the way up to almost 34,300, and then it absolutely slams down, continues into 815, and then here's our 830 open. So what did we leave behind? You have an imbalance here. This is a fractal high, and then you have this up candle right there too. Right there. Okay, so that up candle prior to this manipulation here, 15-minute imbalance. Okay, and it also comes back above yesterday's high. Okay, you can see what we have done since then. Came down, surpassed this low, came down, met London's low, and has continued up until, again, the afternoon session where we're seeing a rally a little bit. So there's that. But on a broader perspective, I would like to see us trade lower. We don't have to, but that's what I'd like to see for the afternoon session. I wouldn't want to see us rally all the way back up here. That would be a little disappointing, but the market's going to do what's going to do. Okay, what's good, Omar? If you look at the highs here, okay, what I'm going to do is I'm going to take this off, this off, this off, and I'm just going to keep that imbalance up there. Okay. What I want you to look at are the highs. Okay. A high at 7:30 and a high at 8:45. Okay, you guys with me on that? Drop a like real quick if you guys are with me. Drop a like so that way I know you're here. That way I know you're paying attention. Why don't you trade along with NASDAQ and ES? What do you mean? What do you mean by that? All right. A high at 730, a high at 845. Okay, we have a lower high here. So remember that. We go to S&P. What do we have? 730, we have a high, and 845. Do we have a lower high? We don't have a lower high. We have a higher high. But at the time of that higher high, look at what's down here at 41.61. What's down there? Some lows. Some lows. Why don't you trade stocks along with indices as well? I do. I'm actually long on Wells Fargo right now with an options contract, but it didn't do entirely much today. 41.61.75 has lows for the S&P. We have a higher high on the S&P. We go to NASDAQ, and I think, let me just make sure that lines up. 730, 845, 730, 845. What is the NASDAQ doing? It's obviously much higher. Okay. And what is it rallying above? If we zoom out, you have 13,241. And that was, I don't know why that's off a little bit. That was Wednesday's high. Wednesday's high. So it taps right up above Wednesday's high, drops off, rallies. You have an imbalance here. Right there. Sells off. Okay. So that S&P and Dow, or excuse me, S&P and NASDAQ trading higher there. That's your divergence right there. See what I'm saying? But I'm not gonna I'm not gonna recommend any brokers. You're just gonna have to find one that works for you. You got to do some research. Okay. So anyway, there's that. If we look at a 1 minute, not that I would have, I wouldn't advise to trade this, but 9 o'clock is here. We drop down, and I want to say 9 o'clock Central Time was the prelim consumer sentiment. So another red folder news for the dollar yet again. So we had news at 7:30 and then again at 9. So here's that 9 o'clock news. It gaps lower, breaks structure, it rallies, and it rallies right up and into an imbalance right there. Now, again, I wouldn't have shorted that just because of that, but you can see what it's done since then. Boom. Instantly ran lower, rallies a little bit, runs below the lows, and it never really rallies again. It just kind of drifts lower and lower and lower. Just kind of how yesterday drifted higher and higher and higher. Today kind of just drifted lower, 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 lower. So there was definitely some very clean opportunities, 40, 50 points to the downside from that high. So why did I trade down? Because again, lower high, 15-minute. The 5-minute looks like doo-doo, but the 15-minute was very clean. Imbalance, up candle, fractal high, lower high. The other indices were trading above this high. Dow was not, signifying weakness. And then on a broader perspective, you have some lows down in here for the Dow. So Dow had a nice target. Dow was the weaker index, in my opinion, at the time. And then the imbalance 618 was there as well. So there is the justification for that. Lord, I got too many tabs open. I can't even find the YouTube. There we go. There we go. Red folder heavy week. Yes. The markets were clean today, but the markets were doo-doo yesterday. The markets yesterday, I did not care for at all. I think yesterday was one of the worst price action days, like probably of this year, personally. I thought yesterday was gross. Maybe some people thought it was clean. Maybe some people caught opportunities. I'm not going to argue against that. We all have our own opinion, and that's fine. But I looked at yesterday, and I thought it was terrible. I thought yesterday was just terrible. Just my opinion. So JP Morgan up 7%. Okay, so I talked about that last night. I talked about how smart money would be accumulating below an old low. I think this is a weekly or a monthly imbalance. And then I had pointed out 145 as some highs that they would likely distribute above. And then I also told you that there was earnings this morning. Boom, it's up 7%. Look at that shit. Now, the other side to that is I also talked about Wells Fargo, and it hasn't done anything. It was up 2% at one point today, and now it's just flat. So we got the bank stocks right, just the wrong one. So if I was in on JP Morgan, I'd be fucking ecstatic today. I would be blessed. But it's cool. It's cool. But yeah, go look at the, if you ever want to get into options, and I'm not really going to teach much about it because I don't know enough about options to teach it. But if you go look at some of the options contracts today, go look at the percentages that it's up. Go look at like the 145 strike or the 140 strike for any of the options between today and the next few weeks or few months or so, like those time expiries. Shit is going to be busting at 7%. Dude, let me check. Matter of fact, let me check for you. I'll fucking look. I'll look real quick here in just a minute. Let's say May 5th. If we were to buy a call at the 140 strike, it's up 348%. 348%. The 145 call is up 300%. 320%. It had a previous close of 14 cents and it had a high today of 90 cents. It's crazy. That volatility, man. That volatility. Blessed. So, again, it's just, I really should have traded both. But I wasn't really interested in JP Morgan. I don't know why. I just wasn't. But I think personally, over the next couple of weeks, if we trade down back into this gap, I think I may long to 145. I think that could be reasonable. So, but again, not advice. I'm not telling you to trade or anything. To me, that's just what I think could happen with JP Morgan. I could see that. So I have to see. But yeah, outside of that, don't really have anything else. So I'll probably just end up watching Dow. Well, realistically, I don't want to be in front of the charts. Okay. Only because, and now is where we get philosophical on Philosophical Friday. Okay. I've been reading this book recently called The Socrates Express by Eric Weiner. I've been sharing this a lot recently on my Instagram and other places, and I'm sharing it with you here on YouTube as well. It's called The Socrates Express by Eric Weiner. Okay. So with that, I was reading the most recent chapter, How to See Like Thoreau. And it was pretty good. The chapter before that was How to Walk Like Rousseau. And it's hard to explain. I mean, you won't get all of it based on the title, but basically just have been in some thought, right? Philosophical thought. And so with yesterday, being in front of the charts all day, being in front of the computer screen all day, I had realized that I had spent too much time in front of the computer screen. So I was like, okay, today I'm not going to do that again. So with a entry up here and a reaction like how we got, of course, I took partials at a new low, stopped to break even plus like 20, and then, I'm just going to let this go, and hopefully again it runs to 33,720. I would like to see that today, right? But I went, okay, I'm already partialed out, I'm already at break even, so it's a dub on the day either way. Let me go outside, get some fresh air, and connect with nature, touch the grass, if you will. So I grabbed my book, this one. I grabbed the book, went outside, and I was reading. So it was very relaxing. This time I actually didn't wear my headphones, so I was listening to the birds, and there was like squirrels running around, and I don't know, it was cool. Then there was some bugs that came out, so I was like, fuck. So I went to the front instead of the back, because there's a lot less bugs in the front. So went to the front and was reading a little bit more, and I journaled as well. I brought my journal out there too. So I was writing in that, and just writing basically everything I just told you, but in a more sophisticated way. And a little bit more in detail as well. So, people ask sometimes if they're not into journaling, how can they get into journaling? What should they journal about? Whatever. And I really like Ryan Holiday's take on it in Stillness is the Key, one of his best-selling books, Stillness is the Key. He talks about journaling and how there's really no right or wrong way to do it. And just do it. You know what I'm saying? And I like that take. So to me, I kind of mix trading and what I'm thinking about whatever. So I write how yesterday I spent too much screen time, and today I want to connect more with nature and get more fresh air. I didn't want to make the same mistake as yesterday, and that's why I'm out here. And then I wrote a little bit about what I'm reading about, and pausing and thinking and just reflecting. I mean, just philosophical stuff. Okay, if you read this book, I think you should. It's really long. I mean, shit, I'm not even halfway through it, but it's good though. It's not like a boring book where I'm like, oh my god, I got to get through this. Like, no, it's really, really awesome. And so Rousseau and Thoreau were very interesting characters, but he talks about how they did like some pretty crazy shit, like shit that people would not do today, like just sit around and think all day. They would do stuff like they would walk in nature, and then they would just spend all day in nature, like all day, and obviously in the early 1800s they didn't have cell phones and stuff like that. So I think their attention span was a little bit different than ours, where, we're fucking glued to our phone and everything. And so they just studied nature. They just spent a lot of time thinking and walking and writing and reading and stuff like that. And so it's just kind of an inspiration for me to do the same. And I don't like how he left equal highs there on the Dow. Right there. Or it might not be equal, I'm not sure. I don't know. Let's just get to 33,720 and call it a day. I'll make you guys a deal. If we get that, y'all gotta drop the death or the rip emoji. If we get that. If we get 33,746, you guys gotta drop the rip emoji if we get that, okay? Is that a fair deal? What's the deal, John? What do I get in return? Well, shit. I'm giving you knowledge, experience, and it's Philosophical Friday. Giving you some ideas here. So, what's the point of this, right? What's the point of philosophy and reading and stuff like that? Well, it's to gain insight, man. The same reason that even though I could teach you a lot of things, but I'm at a minimum, and I just made this playlist, by the way. I have brought on 7 people to this channel, right? 7 other people to help share this channel, to give you guys an opportunity to learn from them as well. And so, you know, I don't want this channel to just be about me. I want it to be, I'm trying to get it more towards a community, right? A community of traders and, you know, smart money stoics, right? Because if we trade smart money, but we can also be stoics as well, you just put 2 and 2 together, smart money stoics, right? That's the idea, at least. So Meditations, I think one of the greatest books ever put out. You know what I mean? Because there's just so many good ideas that I'd never really had heard of before. Not until you start watching people like Ryan Holiday and some other, they have stoic pages out there too, but personally I think Ryan does a phenomenal job with the way he teaches and how he writes and everything. And so, you know, I try to put you guys onto that. The Daily Stoic, all of his books and stuff like that, because that's where I'm learning a lot of things. One of the mantras or sayings, at least, that we have here in the Trade House is always a student, right? We never really know enough. We can always learn more. And so that's a Stoic idea as well. And so when I read about people like this who read and write and do a lot of philosophical thought, you know, I try to do something similar. Not the same, of course. Like, I'm not going to go out to the lake and then just sit there and watch the ducks for 12 hours. Like, I'm just not going to do that. But just to do something different and remind myself, that's the biggest thing I think about today, is that, like, I know there's more than just charts. Like, I know there's more to life than money, and I know that, but I get to experience that when I actually step away from the charts and I actually go do things, read outside with the ducks and the birds and the squirrels, you know, listening to the birds chirping and stuff like that. And then unfortunately a fucking lawnmower comes by and I gotta listen to that. But as far as like the actual nature goes, you know, I get to listen to that, which I really don't do that often. So again, it's just a reminder that charting and trading is only a part of it. You know, that's only a small fraction of life. So I know some people may not agree with that, you know, because I can see the view count, and I know some people might hop off when we get to the boring stuff, but it's real life though. It's real life. You know, the trade ideas were from this morning, bro. I can't do anything here at 12. 1, 2, 3, 4. It's 12:34. I can't do anything with what we have here other than just to hold the short. I don't know what else to tell you. Am I looking for an opportunity this very moment? No. I'm not looking for anything at the moment. But you know what I am going to do? Let's mess with this for just a minute. And we'll come back to that later. All right. So anyway, what's good, Vadu? I just got a question. I got a lot of feedback today too, which I never ask for, but it's always nice to get. Testimonials, if you will. Oh man. Someone asked a question, but also sent me two 1-minute voice notes. Fuck, I gotta listen to that in a bit, but I'm not gonna listen to it right now because I'm with you guys. So we'll be here. But back to what I was saying. I think journaling is very important. One of the best pieces I got from Ryan Holiday is that he said, I don't know if he said it originally or if it was someone else, but I heard this from him. He said that paper is more patient than people. So I really like that idea because I think sometimes we want to express ourselves. We want to express maybe concerns that we have or feelings, thoughts that we may have, but we may not want to share that with other people, right? Like we may not want to tell somebody that we're frustrated with our trading results or that maybe whatever frustration that they have, right? Like sometimes we don't want to share that with other people, but when we share that with the journal, it's still a way for us to get that out, right? Get that out of our system. And that is therapeutic psychologically, you know? Even addicts and alcoholics, right? AA and NA, even them are recommended to journal to help them too. You know what I'm saying? So when we read and we journal, not just about trading, but about life, today I just kind of mix both. I have many journals. I don't know why I did that, but I was like, all right, this one's going to be for life. This one's going to be for trading. And then today I'm like, oh, screw it. I'll just do both. So I'm kind of like doing both at the same time where I'm like, yeah, I'm outside, or like, oh, I shorted the Dow. I took partials. Now I'm at break even. Now I'm going outside and this, that, and the third. So I kind of blended that. And that's just the way that I'm doing it. But there's no right or wrong way. You know, you guys ask all the time, you know, how can we develop more patience or how can we develop more discipline or whatever? And I'm giving you my ideas, all types of ideas. And you just have to try it out. You know, when I started journaling at first, I was probably terrible at it. And I was not willing to share, you know, my journal or even the fact that I was journaling, right? I didn't even want to share that stuff because I was so new to it and didn't really know what I was doing. And it's going to be the same way for you. Anytime you start something new, you're not going to know what you're doing, especially in trading, right? So you just got to do it though. Be crappy at it for a while and eventually you'll get better and eventually you'll understand more and more like why this stuff is important because you'll get to experience it and you'll go, oh man, I feel way better. I feel way better now that I've journaled. And you just get some of the weight off your shoulders per se, or off of your heart, off of your soul, whatever the case may be. So, you know, it just helps. It just helps. People have been journaling since the beginning of time. Literally the beginning of time. All those caves and stuff from all over the world that are old as shit. You know, they have what? Writings on the wall. They have what? Dead Sea Scrolls. They have religious texts and stuff like that from thousands of years ago. People have been writing since like the beginning of the invention of letters and numbers, you know? And the thing is, the best part is that the vulnerability, I think being vulnerable, I think people are scared to be that. I think some people are scared to put themselves in a position where they might be embarrassed or ashamed if what they're writing comes to light, right? Especially if what you say is some crazy shit, you know? I don't write crazy shit because I'm not a crazy person, but you know, there are probably some things that I've written that I probably would not want other people to know. And that's okay. The journal, and Ryan said this too, the journal is not for readers. The journal is for the writer. That's who it's for. It's for you. And I totally agree with that. I totally agree with that. So it looks as if we've made a lower low here on the Dow. We made a slightly lower here on the S&P. And we've made a higher high here on the NASDAQ. So that may be problematic for shorts. Could be. It could be. But I don't trust it. I don't trust going long. So what I'm doing right now is I'm just measuring. I thought this may have been equal highs. This one to the right slightly higher, so it may not be. I'm going to keep this high up here just in case, though. I'm just going to mark that high. Personally, I wouldn't want to see us trade above that high. I would rather see us trade down here. And again, I'm going to keep that same thought until I'm just wrong. If I'm wrong, that's fine. I don't mind being wrong. I'll come out here and be fucking wrong in front of the world. That's okay. But in from way up here, I don't see us breaking even today. Now, if we come back above this high and then consolidate into the end of the day, I think that would be not ideal. I wouldn't like that. I would like to see us come down here, spam the chat absolutely with rip emojis, and then log the fuck off of here. Like, excuse my language, but I don't want to be in front of the charts today. I just don't. Now, I'm here for you guys because I made the schedule and I'm going to stick to it. I can't go back on that. You know what I'm saying? But again, I'm just looking forward to getting off of here. I just want to be done for the week. You know what I'm saying? We just have a trade on the table. And if we get that, great. Because let me tell you what happens if we don't. If we don't get this low, if we just come back and just bullshit, I would be more upset at the fact that we were in front of the charts and watching it versus doing something else. Reading, journaling, living life, swimming, barbecuing, whatever. If this was Thursday, like if today's price action was yesterday, I absolutely would not be on the chart this very moment. I'd still be outside. Or I might be having lunch. I had breakfast this morning, so I'm gonna have a slightly later lunch today. Because normally I don't have breakfast. Normally I just eat lunch as my first meal of the day. And I know some of you may not like that. You know, there's always going to be criticism because something I do is not right. And it's cool. I get that. Energy drinks, whatever. I get it. You're not wrong. Shit, I fucked up. And I totally forgot where I was going with that thought, just so you know. I had that whole sentence in my head. And then I got lost. That's what I get for trying to multitask. But yeah, we'll be on here. We'll see what we can do. And Instagram was fucking up, so let me see if I can fix this. Like when I click add to story, it just blows up and doesn't let me rearrange it. I'm just going to restart my phone. I'm sick of this shit. I'm sick of technology this week, man. The computer doing crazy shit and the microphone going out, the camera every once in a while just stops and starts again. Like, bro, I love technology. Don't get me wrong. My fucking life revolves around it, but sometimes I get frustrated with it when things don't do what they're supposed to. Can you tell? I just want to go back to nature, bro. Just want to go back to connect with nature. Back to our human roots. But Allie hates voice notes. I like them better than calling. Like if you're like, hey John, you got a minute? It depends. If it's to talk on the phone, I'm busy. But if you want to send me voice notes, all right, maybe, you know, you can send it. Okay. I know that makes me sound like an asshole, but it is what it is. Sometimes I'd rather have voice notes than to talk on the phone. But anyway, that's just me. That's just me. I recently brought out old journal from 5 years ago as well as 3 years ago, just before and during the first time I joined IM and started trading. It's very interesting reading through from years ago. That's great. All right, so, and that's also a good thing that you have that, because now you have a reference point of 3 and 5 years ago and where you are now. Morning, Lewis. It's the morning for you? Jesus. Jesus. It's 12:45 in the afternoon for me. You're welcome, Graham. Alan says your stop loss is my entry. That is correct. That is correct. Where others are getting stopped, that's where I'd like to enter. I didn't short the higher high here, but when it came back above this high, it was very close to that. So very similar idea though. Oh, that reminds me. Thank you so much for reminding me. Who was it yesterday? I don't know if they're here. Someone asked me yesterday how I'm able to keep these down here, and I totally did not answer the question. Like the John Fibonacci, your stop loss is my entry, memento mori, and premeditatio malorum. They asked about that, and I totally skipped over the answer. I don't know why I did that. See, I'm imperfect, guys. I'm imperfect. But to answer that question, they are watermarks. If you go on TradingView and you just type in W, or if you type watermark, you'll see that, and you'll see a blue check next to it. You'll see a blue check, or not a blue check. It's like a blue box with a letter in it. I forgot what letter it was, but it's like a TradingView thing. And then all you got to do is type what you want. If you type text 2, it'll change back and forth. I don't like that. I just want the one. So like this one up here, premeditatio malorum. I just want to make sure you guys can see that. Yeah. Normal top center, right? With a height of 3 and a width of 12. The text is, I made everything gray and kind of subtle. That's just for me on purpose, because I don't want it like covering up the chart, like covering up the whole screen, you know? So I just made it small and subtle so it's there. No background, I think. like a 0. You can't see that. The opacity background is 0. I mean, you could do a background if you wanted, but I think it looks tacky. See, like that, I think that looks tacky and it's distracting and I don't like it. And that's that. Oh shit. We left it up there. Wait. Why did it not update? Broken ass trading view. All right. Anyway, so that's the top one, and then Memento Mori is very same thing. It's just normal top right, height 3 width 8. Same text, no background. The bottom one, my Instagram, normal bottom center, height 3 width 10, same text, no background, and then the bottom right one, normal bottom right, height 3 width 14. Now, what's really cool about this, I don't have this on my chart per se, but you can stack these on top of each other. So you can make a checklist. Now, you're going to have to mess around a lot with the settings, but like, let's say this one. So what we'll do is we'll copy and just paste it. So we'll have 2. What you can do, I think, is change the height. And it'll, see how I put a second one down there? And so this one could be something else. I don't know. I have a lot of sayings, but I can't think of one right now. Or legends do both. Because that's one of my sayings. Traders trade, builders build, legends do both. Right? So you could have something like that. And then fucking update it. See? So you see how they're stackable like that? So if you want to, you can mess with the settings enough like that, and then you could make a confirmation checklist, you know, breakup structure, imbalance, time of day, yada yada, opening price, and you could put that on your chart. You know what I mean? Look at that. More ideas for you guys, man. More ideas for you guys. Free of charge. Free of charge. What's good, Marco? Yeah. Well, Marco, the schedule is the same every week. Monday and Friday at 1 p.m. Eastern, and then Tuesday and Thursday at 2 p.m. Eastern. Yeah, some shit like that. I don't know. It's on my page. It's on my page somewhere. Let me look at one thing real quick. I don't know how to get my store back up there either. That's crazy. That's crazy. We'll do this. Okay. So schedule's right there. Monday 1 p.m., Tuesday 2 p.m., Wednesday 2 p.m., Friday 1 p.m., all in Eastern time. This comes out next week on the 19th. The top 10 smart money trading rules. And if you guys haven't seen some of these other videos, check them out. Predicting attacks on liquidity, that was clipped from Friday's, the previous Friday's stream. Trade house values, make sure you watch that, especially if you're in the trade house. One of my more popular videos, tired of getting stopped out, that one's pretty popping in there too. So if you haven't checked out some of those, check them out. But yeah, the schedule's right up there. Okay. And then if you subscribe and then you hit the bell button, or even like the notify me button on the next video that premieres on the 19th, press that notify me button so when it goes live, you'll get that notification. Plus we get to watch it together. There'll be a chat and everything, and it's cool. But it's not a long video. I think it's like 12 minutes or so. It's short. And funny enough, I did a poll yesterday Oh, I did that on Twitter too. I got to check it. I did a poll on Twitter and on Instagram, my Instagram story, and I asked you guys what type of content length do you prefer? 30 minutes and up, 15 to 30 minutes, or like 10 minutes or less? And I think like 75% or 60% said 15 to 30 minutes. About 30% or so said 30 minutes and up. And then only a few people, like 14 people, said 10 minutes or less. So I think majority of the time, my channel has been that way. 30 minutes or less. Now the live streams are different. The live streams are going to be 1, 2, 3 hours. Because I mean, it's a live chart. I can't clip this shit. I can't, you know, do some Doctor Strange shit and fast forward like 45 minutes. You can't do that. And live videos aren't edited either, so there's no way to do anything with that. But the other videos, I try to keep 30 minutes or less. You know, it's funny enough, I actually started my YouTube channel in 2015 for that specific reason. Because I was all over the internet, right? Watching content. You know, I don't think I really took any courses back then, but I was watching people like Sam Seiden and other traders, you know, a bunch of random traders, because I was just searching for like, who knows how to trade? What can I learn? And every once in a while, I would just come across videos that are 2 hours, 2.5 hours. And now, mind you, you know, I was in the Navy, right? And I'm like, dude, I've been up since like 5 a.m. It's almost midnight. I'm tired. And this is a 2-hour video. I'm not watching that shit. I'm not watching that shit. So after a while, when people wanted me to start teaching and I started making YouTube videos, that's what I did. I was like, dude, my shit's never going to be longer than 30 minutes. Never. Now, some of them may have went a little bit longer. A few, maybe 30, 45 minutes. But 90% of them were like 20 minutes or less. My Fibonacci Logic series, I don't know if you guys remember that. That was a long time ago. Most of those were 15 minutes or under. And I did that for you guys because I was like, nobody wants to go to fucking work all day and then come home and watch a 2-hour video. People got families and shit. People want to make dinner and, you know, do stuff. They're going to be turned off by a 2-hour video, 3-hour video. But 20 minutes they could probably do. 30 minutes they could probably do. And that was literally the reason I was doing it. So again, you see how we have that lower high, or excuse me, the lower low on S&P. We have a lower low on Dow and a higher low on the NASDAQ. Or this could just be a run above a previous high to continue lower. The Dow looks like it's just trading into that imbalance here, right there. What's it, 1 o'clock? New hour, and then we got our last hour. What I don't want to see is us trade above this high and then keep going higher. I don't want to see that. If we trade above this high, that's fine, as long as we quickly trade away from that. The last hour may end up sending us lower. But preferably, I would want to see us trade down there before the last hour so I can get the hell off the computer. But yeah, I mean, let's give this a minute here and let's ponder some thought for a second. Philosophical Friday. Can we frame a long position here? I mean, if we trade up and above this high and then back into this up candle, that may be a mitigation to go long. But we would have to see evidence first of bullish price action. would we take a long right now when literally on the 15-minute and 1 hour, we have lingering high or lows down here? We have lingering lows down here. Look how that 1 hour just closed. Look at that candle right here. That doesn't look very bullish to me. Not that I put a lot of faith in individual candlesticks, but that doesn't look like a bullish candlestick to me. The only thing I would say is maybe this imbalance up here on the 1 hour. That could be traded into, yes. But is that enough for me to take a long when we have lingering lows down here? I can't do it. I can't do it. What do you guys think? If we're in a short, we try to look for longs just to justify if it is a long position, then we can get out of shorts. You know what I'm saying? Love to watch 3 hours of session with you, but my girlfriend gets mad at me for spending too much time with you than her. LOL. Well, John, have her come on here too, man. Have her learn how to trade too. You should see what I posted on my Instagram story. Because with all this philosophy and shit, I've become more witty. Oh, I gotta turn my phone back on. I was refreshing it. I turned it off. I just didn't turn it back on. All right, we'll give that a second. But look at my story. Someone commented and said that their wife got them back into trading. And so they smacked the fuck out of cable today. Shorted British pound. Banger trade. You know what I mean? And I gotta tell you my response. Give me a minute. He said, good morning, John. Wanted to reach out and thank you for your tutelage. I took a break from trading for a while, and this morning my wife told me I need to get back on it. LOL, long story short, I took a short position on cable, and I'm up 100 pips as we speak off your teachings. First trade back, I caught like a mitigation / imbalance convergence. I wanted you to know you're appreciated, and thanks for all you do. 100 emoji, target emoji. And I said, that's awesome. And a nice trade too. So think about that. What do you think I was saying that's awesome to? Not the trade. The fact that his wife got him back into trading. Why is that awesome? Because that's a, you know, a supporting partner. A partner that supports whatever it is that you want to do. That's good to have. I think it's in the Bible. It says a man who finds a wife finds a good thing. I think. I don't know off the top of my head, but I'm pretty sure it says something close to that. Wife goes right there, hoping to bring her out to watch you one day. Well, hey man, let me tell you the secret. You ready for this? You want some John Fib relationship advice? Which usually you would not want, okay? You want to learn how to convince people? Let me give it to you. It was Abraham Lincoln. You can look this up. It was Abraham Lincoln said, let me look this up. Let me teach you some more skills today. I gotta find it. He has a bunch of quotes. He said something about like speaking their language. Give me a second. And I'll try and find it. Shit, I can't find it. All right. Well, let me put it to you this way. Tell you you're gonna watch The Notebook, then slap some John Fib on. That's hilarious. If you want to convince somebody, okay, you feel free to write this down. If you want to convince somebody, you have to speak their language. Okay? You want to convince somebody, you have to speak their language. You have to put it in a way where they're going to get benefit. Right? Like they're going to be the one to benefit off of something that you want to do. Easy example. Well, significant other, you know, yeah, I'm spending time learning how to trade. So that way later on, we can take better trips. We can go to fancier restaurants. We can have a nicer wedding. We could have a nicer honeymoon. You know, I do this for us. You know what I'm saying? That's what I would do if it were me. Because I can tell you right now, there is no one on the face of this earth that will pull me away from the chart. Period. Now, I'm a single guy, so, you know, that may not hold a lot of weight with some people. But no one is going to stop me from doing this shit. No one. But in order to get along with other people, you know, I would want to convince them. I do this for us. I do this for you, right? And then if you really want to be over the top with it, you show them a withdrawal. Or you take them on a date and you say, hey, look, this date was paid for by the market, not by me. I didn't pay for steak and lobster. The market paid for this steak and lobster. Now, if you want to be toxic, which I don't recommend, okay? I do not recommend this. But if you want to be an asshole, bring that up in our argument. When you're arguing, you spend too much time on the charts. Well, how the fuck do you think we paid for dinner? Those nice shoes I got you, who do you think paid for that? That was the market. You want more shoes? I need to fucking trade more. You know what I mean? So again, I don't recommend that option because it's toxic, but that's always available too. Just saying. You don't have to write that one down. But sometimes, you know, in arguments, people like to bring up old shit. But you gotta, if you're gonna use that for offense, that's how I would do it. But then again, I remind you that I'm a single guy. So am I giving out the best advice? Debatable. Debatable. But do what you want. Anyways, we may end up having ourselves a mitigation here. And if that happens, I will not like that. Although all these candles are consecutive, though. Well, we don't want to overthink it. That's the last thing we want to do, is overthink the position. But I can tell you this, though. I can tell you this. If you're in from up here, new low, that's a partial. Afternoon session, this lower low here could be one more partial. Because there's nothing really significant over here except maybe this gap right there. Matter of fact, let's stretch that over and let's see if that actually met. Let me see. I could be wrong, but let me just check this real quick. Oh my fuck. Look at that. Look at that. Jesus. Look at the precision on that. Do you guys see that? Do you guys see the precision on that gap right there? That's pretty beautiful. That's pretty that's pretty perfect, actually. That is perfection. Pretty good partial, if you ask me. You had that marked up and watched it take off there? Yeah. Well, at a new low here in the afternoon, that would be a good partial. Even if you didn't get like the exact low, like even a little bit off of that, that's still a decent partial. So if it were me, I would hold the rest for the rest of the afternoon. So if we partial at a new low, partial at another new low, but we still believe this is a longer term target, then we may just hold through the rest of the afternoon. And if it flies back up, let's just say all of a sudden it just continues higher and higher and higher. Let's make that argument for a second that it comes all the way back to our entry. Okay. If it comes back all the way to our entry, then at a minimum, at least we rewarded ourselves on the way down. And that's it. That's the best. I mean, you couldn't do anything different. So if we do reverse this afternoon and go higher, paying yourself here, let's just say this is the low of the day. Okay, well, good. Then you got out at the low of the day then. Then how can you be mad at that? So again, it's just NASDAQ unable to go lower could be a signature of a reversal higher. And I'm just playing the probabilities here, but the probabilities is that this looks weak as shit. It doesn't look very strong. We have an hour and 45 minutes left of the stock exchange, and it has almost no rally today. Almost none. Almost none. Look at that big ass candle here at 9:05. Look at that shit. Blessed right there. And it never came back up. Never. Weak sauce. So anyway, what we'll do is we'll take these lines off because that's a little bit distracting at this point. And do we have an alert? Yeah, we have an alert down there. I want to have some fun today. I want to blow up the chat today, but we made a deal. We don't get to do that unless this hits. That was our deal. So we don't get it, I'll be sad. And I'll cry myself to sleep. I'll cry. We never got our level. Yeah, thanks, John. Appreciate that. Appreciate that. Relationship advice on Philosophical Friday with John Fibonacci. Boom. Fetal loans, everything. I'm not even sure what that means. Oh, fetal position. Yeah. Yeah. I'll curl up in a ball and cry. And then that's it. That'll be it. Do we have, is the crying emoji available actually? Did I make that available or did I not? I didn't check it. Because they limited how many chat emojis I had based on how many members there are. They were like, oh, you got to get 3 more members for another emoji. I'm like, what the fuck is that? Then we got 3 to 5 more members. So then I got another one, and then it said, oh, you got to have 7 more members. I'm like, what type of shit is this? So I got more emojis along the way, and I don't remember if I put the crying one in there or not. The tears. The laughing one is in there. The LOL one is in there. But anyway, I also put tags onto the stream. I thought we'd be able to get more viewers, but we're only at like half of what we got yesterday or Wednesday. Half what we got on Wednesday. Maybe it's just because it's Friday and people just want to go home and do Friday things, I guess. I don't know. What do you guys think? What are your thoughts? Dude, Friday's my cheat day. I might get some tacos. I might get some street tacos because, Lord, man, I love street tacos. I love it. You guys want more advice? Not trade advice, but do you want more advice? Let me pull up OBS. Are you ready for this? This order history, you might not be able to see it, but that is all tacos. And at the bottom is Wingstop. That's when I had, I got my teeth done and I ordered Wingstop. After that, Mexican restaurant, tacos, Sonic. Again, that Sonic was, I got a shake because of my teeth. Before that, Tex-Mex, tacos, breakfast tacos, Mexican restaurant, tacos, Wingstop, tacos. I shit you not. It's all tacos, bro. Look at this. It is all street tacos. That's it. Tacos y tortas la balita. I had to Google image the menu. That's how I knew it was gonna be good. It was all in Spanish. I'm like, oh yeah, it's finna be fire. Got it a few months ago. And I get it all the time now. Dude. I don't even want to look at how much I spent on this shit. But it's nothing but street tacos. And when one taco place isn't open, when Tacos y Tortas La Balita, when they're not open, I go to Carbon. I probably am not pronouncing that correctly. But when one taco spot's not open, I'll go to another. And that's pretty much my entire history. Street tacos are amazing. The only thing I'd put above that's probably macaroni and cheese. But if I was on death row and they said, John, you got one last meal and we don't have mac and cheese, I'd say, okay, let me get some street tacos before you electrocute me. Let me get some street tacos. Let me get some fajita chicken, fajita beef, green sauce, and I will die peaceful. Peacefully. So I advise you today to consider street tacos. They're great. Why? Why do I do this stuff, right? But John, you're telling us about how you lost like 20 pounds and all this and that. Well, yeah, of course. But I reward myself. Yesterday I did good. Wednesday, I don't remember. But I did pretty good this week. Definitely yesterday. Today's been productive. I got some things knocked out. So for my cheat day, tacos, man. Gotta do it. Got to. Street tacos in Cali are the best. LOL, biased opinion. Well, I've never been to Cali, but I've heard a lot of good things about, In-N-Out. We have one here too. A lot of good things about the taco or the food trucks in California, and same about the food trucks in Austin, Texas. I've heard a lot of good things too. So I won't argue and say that ours is better, but street tacos in general are fire. Matter of fact, let me tell you something. I was this close to starting a channel on food. I was this close. What I was gonna do, so when I got out of the Navy and I came back to when I came back to Houston, there was when I was in Virginia, there was a really, really good Indian restaurant. I forgot what it was called, but they had like authentic Indian food. Oh my god, it was so good. The naan, the orange chicken, chicken curry, the rice. Oh Jesus! I mean, the vegetable curry, the cauliflower shit. I mean, all of it was phenomenal. And matter of fact, they had actually won awards as well. All type of like city awards, like #1 Indian spot or whatever. Incredible shit. But they didn't have one here in Houston. So what I did is I just looked up a bunch of different restaurants that I wanted to try. Tiki masala. Oh yeah, they had that shit too. And I had a bunch of places in my phone. I was like, I'm gonna go here, I'm gonna go here, I'm gonna go here, and I'm gonna videotape it and, you know, make a channel based on food in Houston, food trucks, all that shit. I just never did it. But I had visited a friend a couple years ago in Florida, and her family is man, it just slipped my mind. Brazilian, right? Brazilian. And so her whole family Brazilian. I mean, some of them barely like spoke English, you know what I mean? And they could cook their ass off, dude. Oh my god. And we even went to Brazilian restaurants, dude. And then this one gentleman, he introduced me to some candy, or not candy, like chocolate, like Brazilian chocolate, bruh. I tried like a few different chocolates and I was like, this is better than anything that the US has. This shit's on Reese's, Hershey's, Kit Kat. It shits on all of that. I was like, I need this in my life. I was like, our shit sucks, bro. America is nothing but sugar. Our shit is nothing but sugar. Everything else but that we have here in the US is like all the chemicals and stuff in our food is banned in other countries, right? And I'm eating this stuff and I'm like, dude, I gotta have this. I gotta have it. Let me show you. Let me see if I can find it real quick on Amazon. It's really hard to come by. Because I don't even remember the names of. I know what it looks like, but I can't remember the names. It was I have a screenshot on my phone somewhere, but I'm not gonna look through 17,000 photos. And they have a Brazilian market here in Houston too. I think more than one. Oh no. Oh, I found it. Oh my god, it's fucking $60. Jesus. There's no fucking way it's that much. There's no way. Probably because it just can't be found anywhere. Let me show you this as the Dow trades higher. This shit right here, bro. Oh my god. This right here. Amandita. Wafer something, whatever. I don't know. But this right here, bro. Incredible. Incredible. And see, this is the problem with being in Houston. It's like $60, bro. So I don't know what's up with that. Maybe there's just not a lot of them or what? I don't know. I wouldn't pay $60, but I definitely enjoyed that shit. And I don't remember what else we had. John Fibonacci on YouTube. Do people want to see it? Yeah. Well, I also want to do some pretty wild shit too. Like a 7 patty cheeseburger, or like a pizza, and like dumping mac and cheese on it or whatever, like just over the top shit I would want to do and have fun with that. It was Steak and Shake. They had, that's where I got the idea from. Steak and Shake had a 7, I forgot what it was called, but it was 7 burger patties, 7 cheeses, and whatever. And I'm like, oh, I'd eat that. I probably wouldn't be able to finish it, but I would eat that and do it on camera and just have fun. Order like a, hear me out here. Order like a pizza, right? But a pepperoni and cheese pizza with bacon, okay? And then pepperoni and cheese stuffed crust, okay? Which I had a few weeks ago, by the way. It was incredible. Dipped it in ranch too, just so you know. Now imagine that, right? So a big pizza, pepperoni, cheese, and bacon, pepperoni stuffed crust, and then taking like deluxe mac and cheese and just dumping it on top of that, and then having pepperoni and cheese, bacon, mac and cheese pizza. Like, I want to do that. Or like same thing, but with like a buffalo chicken. Buffalo chicken and ranch mac and cheese pizza. You're telling me you wouldn't try some shit like that? Because I would. I absolutely would do that. Some of the best coffee beans and cocos are partially digested and then, oh, nice. Yeah, I've seen that before too. I've heard of that fucking cat or whatever, that little animal, but I don't drink that shit. It's very expensive too. Anytime someone says, hear me out, it's about to be some out of pocket shit. Yeah, sometimes I am. If you started a food YouTube channel, can you write off the cost? Some awesome meals and foods as a business expense on taxes? That's a good question, Naruto, but I think you might be onto something. Okay, so the NASDAQ obviously is much higher. The S&P is higher, but the Dow is not. So I guess the question is, if the indices do reverse from here, the Dow may end up trading higher. Maybe back up into this imbalance. So we may not get the rip emojis in the chat today. And I'll be sad. All right, personally, I don't think this is a mitigation. I don't think that is. It may look that way, but I'll mark it up as if it is. And I guess I'll do the same thing on a Dow. Just the first candle though, which again, I don't think it's a mitigation. Excuse me. I don't think that this per se is a long, especially since we don't really have a imbalance right there. At least on the 5-minute we don't. On the 15 we do. Like if we come back to the S&P for a minute, the S&P does, but I don't know, I'm just not convinced. I'm not convinced. So we'll just have to wait and see. But yeah, that high has been taken on the other indices, not taken on Dow yet. So this may end up being dragged up by the other two indices. But can you kind of see the weakness here? NASDAQ up, way up above that high from 1215. The S&P is clearly breaking structure to the upside, but the Dow is not even above that high yet. Like, it just, Dow is weak, man. It's just weak. 41.85 was that mitigation on the S&P? Wait, you said on the 1 minute. Oh, see, that's my problem. See, Allie's going in there on these super small ass time frames and getting these sniper entries, and I'm sitting here on a fucking 5 minute. 41.48.5. You're talking about this right there? Is that what you're referring to? The up candle to the left. Over here? Or yeah, which one are you talking about? Send a chart to the Telegram. If you could. Or a link to the Telegram. If you could. What's that line? Oh, that's the lows I'm not worried about anymore. Yeah, send a chart. So we could take a gander. Look at that drop in there too. Gap, gap, gap. Straight below these equal lows right here. See that? So you see why that would be also a good partial? Not bad. Not bad. But yeah, we are just now. We have some previous highs over here too. You sent it? No, not really, because I use the highest one. And so, like, for example, the 5 minute, that's why I marked it up on the 5 minute, because if we look at what's distinct, okay? Distinctive low, distinct high, distinct lower low. Okay? So my attention goes there. On a 1 minute, it would look differently, right? It would look more like that. Just because of the 1 minute time frame there. Okay? So I wouldn't use this one. I mean, on small time frame, maybe you could, but I wouldn't have used that here because I don't know. I just wouldn't have done it. Because this, even like right here, when you're looking at this, it hasn't really broken anything significant at that particular point. Maybe something on the higher time frame is down there. Maybe. I don't know. I didn't really look at it. I don't know what's over here on a 15-minute time frame. Or maybe, oh shit. You know what? Fuck, dude, I wrote that down yesterday too. I fucking wrote that down. That lack of wick there at 41.47.5 and that lack of wick there, both on the 1 hour at 41.40. So maybe you're right. That lack of wick was right there too. Missed that on the higher time frame. Missed that. It's y'all's fault though. It's y'all's fault for making me miss it. So it diverged here, meeting those, you know, lack of wicks on the 1 hour. So to me, now that makes a little bit more sense why we're rallying. But either way, I still saw that divergence down here. So we're not surprised that this is trading higher. But the Dow, look at how the other indices are rallying, and Dow is just not. I mean, it's being dragged along, but it just doesn't look bullish. You know what I'm saying? It's just very reluctant. You see the difference there? Look at NASDAQ, right? And then look at Dow. Weak. Weak sauce. Weak sauce. So, if we shorted NASDAQ this morning, which again, I did not. If we did, dude, that's fucking halfway back up here. And there's probably stops at that high too, right there. There's probably stops resting up there. So we may yoink into that. This isn't even close. It's not even halfway at all. Much better. And the structure there is also seen on the triple Qs. The Dow Jones Industrial Average and the SPY. Yeah, I don't see anything entirely significant there, but oh well. But you remember I told you earlier, if we fucking come back up here and then consolidate, I'd be mad that I didn't do something else. That I didn't do something else. But the question is, do we cut it here and leave it at that? And whatever happens, the stream is what I mean. Like, do we cut the stream and come back on Monday? Or do we wait a little bit longer? If we wait a little bit longer, that's fine. But I think I'm going to need to take a quick break. Probably like a 10, maybe 15-minute break. So what do you guys think? Should we end it or should we take a break? What do you think? Type end if you want to end the stream, or type break if you want to just take a break and come back in like maybe 15 minutes or the top of the hour. Like right at 2. That'd be like 22 minutes from right now. A little 20-minute break. What do you guys think? Marco says break. Adnan says end it. Do we have any more votes? Naruto says end it. We have 2 for end, 1 for break. John says enjoy your Friday. So John wants to end the stream. So we have 3 for end it, 1 for break. Anyone else? I have to leave early today anyway. Been a volatile week. All right. Well, I guess we got more votes for ending it then. That's fine with me. I'm good either way. But no matter what, I got to eat something. So you guys just want me to end it because y'all know that I want to end it. You guys are just being too nice is what it is. Well, I think John wants to go, so we'll vote to end it. Fine. Fine. Enjoy your day. All right, cool. I guess we'll end it then, because you fucking voted for it. All right. I'll end it with this then. I still want 33,750. We may not get that, just given the time constraint. You know, we're back in within the range. We diverged down in here. So there is a possibility that we've made our low of the day. So if we don't get it, that's okay. But if it were me, I've already partialed twice. I've only got 1 partial remaining. and I'm going to close out before the close of the stock exchange either way. So if we come up, or if we go down, or if we consolidate, I'm not going to hold over the weekend, and I'll close out at whatever price comes in around 245. Okay? Yep. Y'all be good. I will see you on Monday at our regular Monday scheduled time. Thanks, guys, for being here. Appreciate you. Y'all be good. Until then.